back to another video. Just some motivation for students. So welcome back, welcome back.
Happy New Year's to every single body. And with this new year, we're going to begin with a video with a very, very special guest, Mr. Geo Derice. Say welcome back to the channel.
Bro, why you say Derice? You said my last name mad times correctly before. Derice, bro.
Derice.
Nah, I got you. Nah, I'm glad to be back, man. I'm always excited to be on this channel.
And guys, a few weeks back, we released the video "Support is an Action Word." And I wanted to do a part 2 to this video to get another perspective on this topic, because we know support is a very key thing when you're starting up your own business, your own company, your own program. Support is a very key thing. And to start off, we're going to start off with our first question. What does the statement "support is an action word" mean?
So for me, it means like it means like something that I can feel. Right? Like something that I can feel when I think of support as an action word. So when I think of the idea of like, yo, support, I think a lot of times we know, and we'll dive into this, but I think a lot of times we think like support just means like, you think of GoFundMe, you think of Kickstarter, you think of fundraising. When you think of the word support, if we was going to do like a word association, we'd be like, yo, support, fundraise, selling M&Ms or whatever. But I think sometimes, like for me, I think like support is whatever makes me feel like I'm not alone. That's probably the best way for me to go and put it, is like support is an action word, is like the presence of others, like feeling their support is, without using the word, but like feeling like I'm not by myself is probably the best way for me to really describe it.
And that actually also give us a very key point. Support is a feeling. It's not only an action word, but a feeling. Because I know I mentioned it's an action word in the previous video, but today we're going to be talking about it's a feeling. Because we need to be able to like feel that that somebody or something, like you need to be able to like feel that support. And then often we have that misconception with support that you need to actually spend money. Yeah. So does money actually need to be spent when supporting someone?
I think I don't want it to get misconstrued. Money is cool. Like that, let's not get it twisted. The question could almost insinuate, yo, you don't need no money, you just need, no, you need that too. But I think the key word is to, T-O-O, which means also. And so yes, money is important, but it's not just money, right? It doesn't have to be that. Again, like I said earlier, like it's something that is felt, is not, and so you ever hear like somebody, whenever they talk about, yo, I don't feel like you're supporting me. What did I just say? I don't feel like you're supporting me. Rarely do you hear someone say, you're not supporting me. Nah, they normally say, I don't feel like you support me. Right? And I think if you start to look at it, it's like, what do you mean by that? And for me, I think like there's many ways that could be. Like I just released a podcast. Support might mean rating my podcast. Support might mean sharing my podcast. Support might mean leave me a review. Support might mean even constructive criticism, right? Is because I feel it. Like I'm like, like you giving me something from your heart and you transferring over to me. So it might not always be the thing you want, right? We all want the money, but sometimes it might be feedback that you may not have wanted to hear. Like, yo, how do I make my podcast a little bit better? Someone telling me that feedback is support. And so I believe firmly that you can transfer all of those other forms of support and it can feel just as effective as money, or even go a lot further than money. Because money, it can buy a lot of things, but it cannot buy everything.
That's very true. And I agree. Money is also important when supporting, but it's not the most important thing. Because that conversation that you're having with somebody, okay, how can I make my channel better? Do I need to switch up my thumbnails? Like meeting with you every single month, those stuff are very valuable because money can't buy that. Money can't buy that constructive criticism. And if it can, it's not going to be a real criticism, because when money is involved, people would say and do anything for money. So you're not getting that raw advice. And this is something that I'm going to get into more into our next question. And our next question is, what are some ways to support someone without spending money? I know you mentioned some of them, but can you elaborate more?
Yeah, I think you've heard the phrase time is money. And it's so crazy how like we are so quick to throw money because we understand that time is even more valuable than it. Right? Think about it. Yo, let me get some money is completely different than can you watch my 60-minute video on YouTube and give me feedback? Right? Like, because I could just like your video, but did I really watch it? Am I engaged with it? And so I think when I think of like, what are some ways that someone can go ahead and support without spending money? It's like, give me your time, give me your energy, do something that requires some form of effort. It does not take that much effort to give me the money you already have. If you got to go make some money to give it to me, it takes effort. But if you're like, yo, I already got some money, yo, here's $5, man, leave me alone. That's not the energy that I'm looking for, because that's not supportive. I'm looking for that positive energy. So that might be like for someone who's like, you have a friend who might have a dream and they kind of feel a little bit down because it hasn't gone their way. Give them some of that positive energy. Tell them, yo, keep on going. Tell them, yo, you can't give up right now. I see this for you. That is support. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, and it's not like, how much does that cost? And I would argue this. It's not even so much how much it costs. I want you to understand that that kind of support is priceless. I can't even put a price to it when someone says, oh my gosh, like, Geo, I really rock with you. You do? Yeah, I rock with you. I tell so-and-so about you. So you willing to lend your name on my behalf, your reputation on my behalf, your social equity, your social capital. You willing to share that with me too? Oh, snap. Now we're in a different level. And so I think what happens for a lot of people, and Esron, like this, somebody told me this so much. And one time somebody told me this and I was really like convicted. It stopped me in my tracks. I'm walking in the city in Manhattan and a homeless man comes to me and says, you got any change, like any spare change, or you can spare $1 or whatever. And I said, I ain't got no money. I said, no, I didn't say that. I said, I ain't got nothing. I said, I ain't got nothing, man. I ain't got nothing. And he literally said, yo, don't ever say that again. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Like, yo, I ain't got nothing. Like, leave me alone. And he was like, don't ever say you ain't got nothing. You could say you ain't got no money, but you got life though. And I said, oh, snap. Like, this dude done dropped a sermon on me? I'm like, what? He said, yo, you got life, man. You may not have money to give me, but you got life, man. You got breath in your lungs. I'm sitting here like, yo, did the homeless guy just gave me a life lesson that is what? Priceless. Yo, like he and here's the thing, he supported me without even knowing he was supporting me. And how much money did he give me? None. But he gave me a word of wisdom that I can now hold on to that will go and bear fruit later on. And so for all of you who might be like, I ain't got no money, that, yo, do you know someone else that person may need to know? Is there somebody else that you can go and share whatever they're working on? Is there like you can give feedback, you can watch, you can share, you can like. There's so many different posts on social media that say, hey, here's 10 ways you can support your friend and they don't require any money. Pick one of them. Like, pick one of them, share, like, subscribe, comment, do something so that I can feel your presence. Because your presence, that's the gift that I'm really seeking. And money, that comes and goes, man. I could go in the bank. I don't have a relationship with them, but we have a relationship with people who can really go and make us feel supported. Like, I don't necessarily feel supported by a bank, right? Even though they got money, but I definitely feel a lot more support from people. So, and they can do that through their actions.
Definitely. And I agree with this statement so much time. Because as I talked about a little bit in the first video with Geo, I could do this on the record right now, and Geo could be my confirmation. Geo have not put any money in my pockets.
This is true.
But how I knew Geo would support me is when I first met him. That man came all the way to my school just off of knowing what I did, had a conversation with me, and came all the way to my house. You know, we in the hood, we in Brooklyn, we in East New York. He came all the way to my neighborhood just to like shoot a video. And in that process, obviously he spent money because you know, gas ain't free. But he didn't personally put any money in my pocket. And over these last 4 years, I've got his support during time. Every single month, or every 2 months, I meet with Geo. We have a conversation. We talk about YouTube. We talk about what's going on in each other's life. His podcast that he just launched, I've been knew about that before all of y'all. And just a whole bunch of stuff. I knew I got his support because Jill gave me constructive criticism. Okay, I like how you did that, but okay, we could do that differently. Like with this channel, it was Jill was the one that gave me the idea to separate my content and put it on a whole nother channel. There's many ways I can give you an example of how I've gotten my support from Jill without him spending money. Now I've had support through the money aspect, and I very much appreciate it, but I'll take somebody's time over their money any day. Because you remember how they was going around with social media, would you rather that $500,000 or like a 20-minute dinner with Jay-Z? I'll take that 20-minute dinner with Jay-Z, because with that $500, I could blow that $500 quick. But that knowledge I received from him, I could use that to make $500,000 and then triple that, then double that, then quadruple that. So time is just something that's very important for me. Like I ask for people time, like I try to make sure like I talk to my mentors either like a weekly basis, a monthly basis to get their feedback, get their information, because time is just such an important thing. And with all of them, I can feel it. Like Gio mentioned earlier, it's a feeling. I can feel it. I never have to question whether Gio support me or not. Gio could not watch any single video on my channel, but guess what? I would still know that he support me, because you may not see him in a video, but guess what? He in the background, the behind the scenes, helping me with ideas, helping me share videos, help me promote videos. There's a whole bunch of things that he does that will still give me that feeling of support. And I just wanted to think this to anybody out there, like you don't necessarily need money. You don't necessarily need somebody to invest money in you. You just need their time. Now the money's gonna help. Just not excluding that. The money too is gonna help.
Definitely.
But I'm telling you, that time will be more valuable than any money that you can get. Because money is like you could blow money fast, but then that time you're gonna remember that. That time you can use it. Like anytime that I meet with you, I learn more, either from something from him or he point out something to me. There's always a learning aspect to where this time that we meet is very valuable. And I just wanted to just put this message out there for anybody that's starting up. I know the support may be hard. Trust me, every one of us go through when we're starting our stuff. I know the support may be hard, but just keep in there, just keep grinding. Don't give up on your dream. And if you have somebody supporting you, latch on to that person. Because just trust me, the people that don't support you, they're gonna come later on. It happened to me. I'm not sure if it happened to you, Jill, but it happened to me. Because when I created my channel in 6th grade, you know how much hate I got from people at school and then people around my circle. But guess what? 6 years later, guess who be watching my videos? They're gonna come around eventually. They're gonna come around eventually. So just don't be mad, don't trip over that, because they're gonna come around. It may take them 5 years, 4 years, 6 years, but they're gonna come around eventually. But just know support is very key, and that support doesn't always need to be money. It can be a quick advice, criticism, a share on social media, a helping you strategize how to film video, helping you market your stuff. There's so many ways that support can happen. It doesn't always have to be money, but trust me, that money would definitely help.
Yeah, I think, and another thing too, just to piggyback and kind of close on this, is that we all want support, but it's normally received when it's given. You see what I'm saying? And so it's important that if you feel like you lack support, double your giving of it. And then it's almost like a boomerang. It'll come back to you. But if you're like, yo, man, nobody support me, I ain't supporting nobody else, you just created a self-fulfilling prophecy that no one's going to support you. Because what did you send? What deposit did you make? So next time you go, you don't have nothing to withdraw because you ain't making no deposits and deposit your positive energy with somebody else. And then when they become bigger, they got bigger positive energy to give back to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's so important, even like before we even started recording, when you're like, yo, when you did the introduction and say, yo, and the new podcaster, right? And I'm like sitting here like, that's energy. That's positive energy. Like, yo, oh yeah, I am a podcaster now. Cool. But it's like, it's so much easier to support when it's been received, right? So when your cup is runneth over, of course, it's easy for you to go and say, yeah, I'm out of the overflow of what I've gotten, out of the abundance of support I've received, who am I to go and hoard it? I know that it's more blessed to give than it is to receive, but it's not, you don't want to bless nobody when you ain't received nothing. So in order for you to make sure that it's not you on the other side of the equation, make sure you're on the right side of the equation by also being a supporter of somebody else. And then your time will come at some point, I'm sure.
We'll leave you in that keynote. Your time will definitely come. Do not forget, guys, support is an action word. You cannot say you support something if there's no action going into it. And thank you so much to the new podcaster. Don't worry, guys. I'll be linking that podcast below. That's a perfect example of support right there. I'll be linking his podcast below. You know what? You can do that right now. Tell everybody about your podcast.
Yes. So I got a podcast called the Bookability Podcast. Just dropped. It's all about just teaching people who are side hustlers and business owners how to get booked and how to build blessed businesses that keep them busy. And so if you're like someone like, yo, I want some inspiration, I want to hear some real life examples. I know you see all the celebrities, but I'm talking to real people who you could walk in the street, you wouldn't even know they had money, but how did they get there? Right? They're more approachable than, I don't know where Jay-Z lived, but I know the person who lived down the block from me, who may be a 6-figure, 7-figure business owner that I could easily approach. And so I want to have conversations with those kinds of people so you can kind of hear where they came from, how they got there, and how you could get there too.
Podcast. Don't worry.
The Bookability Podcast.
Wow, sorry.
On
my
Apple.
My correction.
Stitcher,
I was gonna do that for you.
Spotify, all that stuff.
It's on Apple. It's on Apple. It's on Google, and it's on Spotify. Where those 3 places where you can find podcasts, it's on there. The Bookability.
There you go.
Bookability Podcast, guys. Make sure that you check that out. But thank you so much, Geo Derice, for always coming back. Man. For always coming back for this video. And just know, guys, we got more videos. We got more videos on the way. And just thank you guys so much for watching the video.
This is the end of the video. If you guys haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Please turn on your post notification. That way, anytime I upload, YouTube will send you a notification. This is Motivation for Students. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.